there's a reference that Mary made earlier in the season where she said, I don't think that Robyn wanted to kick me and Janelle and Christine out. I think she saw what we had and wanted to join it. And I do think that is accurate. I don't think Robyn wanted to get rid of them. I think she wanted to keep them around. I mean, I think we've all said, I assume you've heard the phrase, she didn't want to be the only wife, she wanted to be the head wife. And that's so, so true. I think she looked at this family and she looked at Cody and she, looked at her life and was like, I want nothing more than to be in a large polygamous family because that seems to be an area of glory, and how they all got along and they had all these kids and they all took care of each other. I'm no expert on polygamy other than what I've seen on TV, but it seems like for that community, they had an extremely functional family, and she came in and was like, I want this as well. And I think even under a polygraph, I think if you said, did you want to join their family? I think under a polygraph, she would say yes. But it seems that Robyn is incapable of understanding what it means to be part of a polygamous family, and that there has to be sacrifices. And I think that she assumed that anytime anything was inconvenient for her, that was all the sacrifice she needed to make. So the fact that Cody wasn't there at her every beck and call meant that she had to have been a good sister wife, not taking into account that there was a lot more to it than that. Things like she clearly didn't trust the other wives, she didn't want them making decisions about how to parent her kids. There's many times that they've been caught on camera, let alone whatever happened off camera, correcting any of his children. And it was really clear that no one was allowed to correct Robyn's children. But Robyn has been able to correct everyone, even unnecessarily so. She seemed to have a particular... I can't think of a polite word for what I'm going for, but she seemed to have a particular joy in picking on Janelle's kids. Now, Janelle's kids were all pretty tough. And I don't think that they, I think if it had been different, they, might have cried and upset. But they all seem to sort of shrug her off. One of the very first things we see is Robyn getting on Maddie and being like, you don't want to be a polygamist, but then you wouldn't have someone like me in your life. And she's like, yeah, I don't really care. She got all over Hunter when Hunter was... I don't know if he was clinically depressed. That's not a place for me, but he was definitely deeply bummed out by that move. He was really struggling to enjoy the things in his life that he typically had enjoyed, like football. He spent all this time in his room. And Robyn's like, well, he didn't seem happy enough when I announced my pregnancy. And I'm like, hold up. I think strangers would be more accommodating to him, let alone the fact that he's like 15 here. Like, cut the guy a break. She had a problem with... she managed to show up late for Logan's graduation. And people have pointed out that earlier in the morning, she was missing a fingernail. And when she showed up for Logan's thing, she had fresh new nails. So she must have said she went and got her nails done and her hair's done and then couldn't find the place. And people who live there say, of course you can find it. It's super visible. And so my point being that I don't think that she came in with this plan of I want to drive everyone out. I think she came in with this plan that she was going to have a great life and didn't realize that the only way for her to have a good life is to have everybody else have a miserable life. And then when she started to realize that, she was like, well, I don't care. I can't make any adjustments. There's no way that Robyn of 15 years ago could see Robyn of now. And if she didn't know who it was, she would have judged that Robyn so hard. She would have been all over the interview about how that's not how a real sister works. I know how a real sister wife works. I do all that. Like, there's no way that they don't know on some level that they really screwed up. But I don't know, when Mary's saying, I don't think that she came in wanting to push us out, it's sort of like damning with faint praise. Like, it's the most minimal compliment you can give. And I'm hoping we can continue to see Mary at least addressing this topic more.